The Philadelphia 76ers are being discounted by most as legitimate title contenders once the season resumes in Orlando. But with a team that has as much talent as the Sixers have, coupled with what may be one of the more unpredictable postseasons in recent memory as a result of this layoff, do the Sixers deserve to be completely written off as a legit threat? In this video, we will go over what the Sixers actually have going for them that they can use to their advantage, and what obstacles and flaws they will have to overcome to be successful in this year's playoffs. But before we jump into it, remember to subscribe and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more video breakdowns of other teams I find interesting in these 2020 playoffs, check out the link in the description section below. The Philadelphia 76ers, I find, are one of the teams that will benefit the most from this extended layoff as a result of this pandemic. Firstly, the whole situation has given the injured team time to heal. Joel Embiid, who was beat up right before the outbreak, will now hopefully be returning healed up and ready to go. And he himself has gone on record saying that he's been working out 6 days a week during this layoff, which is a terrific sign. Al Horford will now be returning well rested with fresh legs, and Brett Brown has stated that the Sixers will now likely also have Ben Simmons returning for the postseason, which will obviously be huge for them. Another way that I see them benefiting from this layoff will be the fact that playoff games will be a bit sloppy this year. Teams are not likely going to have amazing efficiency and shooting numbers. I can see a lot of teams struggling from the three-point line in the postseason, teams that rely on shooting to succeed. And we all know this Sixers team does not rely on shooting to win games. What would otherwise be the team's greatest weakness just might be a strength under current circumstances. Brett Brown will need to take advantage and play to their strengths by feeding Joel Embiid the ball underneath the basket where he can bully defenders and dominate in the post. When opposing teams who rely on shooting struggle to hit their three-point shots, the Sixers can grind out wins by going to the post with Embiid as their primary weapon. The team's arguably second-best scorer in Tobias Harris also doesn't rely on his shooting to be effective, though he can be a solid shooter in his own right. And Ben Simmons thrives when attacking the rim and in the pick and roll. This can all bode well for the Sixers. But look guys, the Sixers at some point in this postseason will have to start knocking down some three-point shots. I am not suggesting that they could go the distance without hitting threes, and that will still be a weakness for them in this postseason the further they go in the playoffs and the more in rhythm other teams get. The team's inability to knock down threes and Ben Simmons' refusal to even try has really hurt the Sixers' offense and, in my opinion, Joel Embiid's game. He has been forced out of the post where he does most of his damage most effectively to the three-point line to open up lanes for Simmons. And even though the Sixers' offense can be shaky at times, their defense is very strong. There's no denying that. They currently rank 6th in the league in defensive rating and have very long and good defenders across multiple positions. Ben Simmons, in my opinion, is one of the best defenders in the NBA and deserves to be on the all-defensive team once the season concludes. He can guard multiple positions effectively. Simmons also ranks 8th in the league in defensive box plus-minus and leads the league in steals per game. Matisse Thybulle has also been huge for them on defense and has been one of the better perimeter defenders in the league in his limited minutes as a rookie in the NBA. Thybulle has great length and instincts as an on-ball defender and can turn a game in the Sixers' favor by getting a star opposing player out of rhythm. Al Horford will also be huge for them on the defensive side as he can guard multiple positions and has very high defensive IQ. And even though he isn't a great three-point shooter, he can knock down mid-range shots to at least open up the lane somewhat for this team. Horford also tends to play better in the postseason than he does in a regular season, which also bodes well for this team. And playing him alongside Embiid can be a very nice combination for them around the basket. The Sixers also have solid depth and enough quality players at the wing position at a time when talented wings are hard to find for teams. Tobias Harris can play against large wings and forwards as he has the required quickness to go up against them defensively, while also being dangerous on the offensive side without requiring the ball too much. And even though he hasn't been consistent for the team from the three-point line, he has proven to be effective from long range in the past. The Sixers will have to depend on him from three at some point in the postseason. The Sixers also have Josh Richardson, who's a solid defender and serviceable on offense, and Alec Burks and Furkan Korkmaz give the team productive minutes off the bench. And look, it's true they don't have a real star at the wing position, but what they do have is solid. The Sixers will also need to play Shane Milton some more minutes, as he has been by far their best shooter, averaging 45.3% from three and nearly 50% from the field, and has per 36 numbers of nearly 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game. He addresses a need and has been effective for them. The Sixers should play him. Also, they just added a 3-point specialist in Ryan Broekhoff, who will hopefully contribute for them where they need it most. But at the end of the day, the team's success will come down to how well Joel Embiid plays. He has gotten plenty of rest and promises to be in shape, so we should be seeing him play a lot of minutes, which will give the team a massive boost. Joel Embiid is a true two-way superstar in the NBA and has the potential to dominate. When all else fails, they can always just throw him the ball in the post and watch him go to work and give him buckets, as he is probably the best low-post scorer in the NBA. He is also great on the defensive side, as he very effectively protects the rim and is nimble enough on his feet to switch onto guards. The problem with Embiid has been that he simply hasn't performed when the team needed him most in the postseason. His numbers pretty much all around have dipped in the playoffs, and in particular, his efficiency. In the 2 postseasons and 19 total playoff games that we have seen him in the playoffs, his field goal percentage has dropped from 48% to 43%, which, let's face it, for a big man is horrible. If Embiid continues to struggle in the playoffs, then I honestly do not see this team getting out of the first round, and that's just the honest truth. I don't realistically see this team winning a championship this year, but under this strange and atypical postseason with no fans or home court advantage and teams and players possibly returning rusty, the Philadelphia 76ers with Embiid turning it up and dominating in the playoffs might just shock us all. But Embiid will have to dominate. What do you guys think? How far do you see the Sixers going in the playoffs, and what will be key for them? And once again, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and hit that like button. And if you want to see more video breakdowns of teams I find interesting in the 2020 playoffs, check out the link in the description section below. Till the next one, guys, I'm out.